Welcome back to the Green Room Podcast. Here at the Franklin Theater, the Halloween special, right?
Yeah. Woo, woo.
Woo. I'm your co-host, Massimo DeStefano. To my right, I got...
I'm not Massimo. I'm me. I'm Brendan. Shout out.
on Halloween?
Still, yeah. However many damn weeks we've been doing this.
Well, this is actually coming out a few days before Halloween, right? Because Halloween's on what? Monday?
You're asking the wrong person. I have no idea.
You don't remember days?
No, it's September. I don't remember.
Oh, they don't know that?
Whatever. Oh, well. Broke the fourth wall.
September.
Sue me.
No, it's Halloween Day. Anyway,
magic's gone.
We're here on the stage because it's a special. We hinted at it in a few episodes.
Hopefully it looks a little hazy to you.
Yeah. We got a little cool lighting look, a little Halloween-y kind of thing.
We got the boys.
Congrats to the lighting look from Brendan. He did that.
It was a preset that I just changed the colors.
Yeah, okay. Well, now you dumbed it down. So, Brendan, how about you introduce our guests for today?
When we had Chad on the episode, I talked about these guys. I've been talking about the band for a while. Hopefully, today we'll figure out when the single's coming out. I think like 10 weeks ago I said the single
on the
next
podcast,
week.
You're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right now, right here.
Anyway, this is More Weight. This is Jacob Kruli and Zach Britt.
And
wherever. So, hell yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different lights. I'm like a...
There's a lot going on.
I feel like a cat just like looking at...
Yeah, like a dog. Squirrel.
Exactly, yeah.
But anyway, welcome to the show, boys.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Glad to be here. I'm so tired.
Dude, not good.
No.
I don't think
we're both really injured right now.
Yeah. I've got a pulled muscle from, I think, work. He's got all
This
kinds
is
of
the
different
only
stuff.
limb on my body that is fully functioning right now.
Hurts to breathe. It hurts to lay down in bed. But here we are, baby.
Here we are.
What happened to your wrist? Was that at Badfest?
That was after our show.
Badfest?
At the last set of the night,
Sick.
I fell in a circle pit and just ate it. I just first thing that hit the ground was this, and 3 weeks later, it still hurts to.
Was that 3 weeks ago already?
I think
Almost
3 weeks
four.
ago.
Almost a full month. Yeah.
Yeah,
Saturday.
We
over 3
talked
weeks
about it
ago.
on the pod and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
giving you a shout
Yeah.
out.
It's
so.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That festival
that's
is
wild.
something.
It's a great
It
show.
feels like it happened yesterday. It also feels like it happened a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that for you guys? Because I've heard his perspective. How was that festival for you guys?
I thought that was a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, like show-wise, I mean, that was only our third show as More Weight.
Yeah.
Really?
We've been all kind of playing music together for a long time. I've been bothering this guy to be
Non-stop. All the time.
I met him at a house show, and he said I'm a drummer, and I said we're bonded by blood now.
Yes. Yeah. Because of that.
So as the prophecy foretold, Brendan I've known since Dark Horse,
Yeah.
and we've just kind of jammed on and off.
Were you in his class?
I was in the class right like after his.
Yeah. Okay.
But I saw him all the time. He was roommates with my now roommate.
Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, we've
Wait,
just
is this the
kinda
Dark
always-
Horse special? We got all Dark
Oh,
Horse.
yeah.
This is the
Dark Horse,
We were in the
dude.
class.
Yeah, we were actually in the class together. Yeah.
Dude.
Look at
What
us.
a time.
Shout out
Hagen
Rob.
followed-
Shout out Dark Horse.
No, shout
as
out
a
Dave,
whole.
okay?
Jason
Dave Hagen,
Hollis,
Dave
shout out
Hagen
Dave
followed
Hagen.
me on TikTok and the More Weight account on TikTok.
No way.
nice.
I felt really special.
Really?
I felt
Why
really
don't you
special.
follow me.
I gotta check.
I'm in there all the time.
To be fair, I've been following him for 3 years, and like literally 3 days ago, he followed me. So
Wait, Dave or the?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave.
Oh, he just followed me on TikTok.
He must have gone on
he's
a
getting
spurt.
to it, man. He's getting to it.
He's like, oh, look at this
Yeah.
long laundry list
Yeah.
of people that follow me.
How long were you setting up Badfest? Like, how long before the date of Badfest were you like in the process of booking it?
Last year's was the 27th of August. September 1st, I sat down with a cup of coffee and a 6-pack and was just like, let's do it, boys.
That's awesome.
And the lineup that we ended up having was originally like the dream lineup. I knew I wanted, I knew I wanted Still Here. I knew I wanted Bazooka Tooth. I knew I wanted whatever I was doing. Because at the time,
Bazooka
last
Tooth.
year's we were in Saloon Scene. And that was just kind of in an odd position. But I was like, well, whatever project I'm doing, I know I want to play, but I'm going to play first because I want it to be bands with a little bit more of a following, bands with a much heavier sound. You know, I don't want to have just absolute beatdown bands play and then be like, here's a song I wrote when I was sad. You know, after right in the middle of the set.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it took all of 11 months, and
Dang.
we're probably not going to do one in 2024 unless it's going to be later, just because we want to keep it relevant. We want to expand, take some time off, and just kind of expand. I mean, we're a clothing brand, so we want to focus on that a little bit more, which of course means Jack focusing on it a little bit more. I don't do any of the clothing stuff. I don't,
You wear the clothes. That's
like
fun.
a child, my girlfriend still dresses me, so I let him handle that.
Yeah.
But
please don't do it in August again.
Yeah.
I've never sweat
the
so much from a load-in.
in August. So hot.
I don't remember last year's being that hot.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. This year's
It was like 90s,
miserable.
like 94 maybe. Like
It was a sweaty one.
We got off stage and then I helped Wielded Steel load on, and before they played, I just kind of went in the bathroom and like had a Slim Shady moment of looking in the mirror thinking I was going to throw up. I was just like, I was like, dude, this is miserable. But yeah, no, it was great. That was only our third show.
It was,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that was I was talking more the whole show. I think that was the best lineup from, is that the third Bad Fest?
That is the third Bad Fest.
Yeah. Which also, have we played all three Bad Fests with three different projects?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you played with OCW, Open Casket Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
The band, follow them out.
Oh, yeah.
Check them.
OCW.
And then I played Saloon Scene that year back when Nick was in the band.
Oh,
And
I thought we
then-
played St. Jacob
No.
first year.
No.
So you played Saloon Scene, I played an Open Casket Wedding.
Yes, and then second year we played in Saloon Scene, and then
okay.
third year we played in More Weight.
Gotcha.
And then
next year,
that's actually
Stay tuned.
It's gonna be the same lineup, but we're gonna have a different band
That's
name,
right.
different
Yeah,
songs,
that's right.
Different genre.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's right.
some like folk punk.
Yeah, man.
I would show up for that. I would show up for that.
I appreciate that.
So Brendan, you have because it's a Halloween special, you have a goal today. So I've been told.
Yeah, well,
So
the thing is with Massimo is the heaviest band he listens to is Van Halen. And the heaviest
I like
album
Van
he
Halen.
listens
There's
to.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with
Van
Van
Halen.
There's
Say.
nothing wrong with it. The
You can
heaviest
get down.
album he knows is 5150, which is
No.
awesome.
what did you say?
5150.
What about it?
It's the heaviest album you know.
No, they have other harder albums.
Well, I'll say this: is that the heaviest album you know, or the heaviest album you enjoy? Because that's two different things.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
I enjoy thoroughly all of Van Halen's discography.
Okay.
All of it.
Because I know a lot of heavy music that I don't necessarily enjoy, but I
Okay.
know it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do some heavier stuff, but in terms of like an artist, like as a whole, I can do
Thoroughly enjoy.
pretty much all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sammy, I'm a Sammy guy.
I think
dude,
what we
yes.
need to
I-
do
So
first.
you're a Van Hagar fan?
boy.
That's what
I
it
am.
is.
I mean, I like
Van
David Lee
Hagar,
Roth.
man.
Like, it's not that I don't like it. I just something about Sammy Hagar and the writing and his voice and that, like, it just does it for me.
I like some of his. Does he have another band or a solo project?
He's got so
Chickenfoot, right?
he was
I think he had a solo
So he had a
project,
solo
right?
career. He
Yeah.
also was in the band called Montrose way back
Oh
in the
yes,
day.
yes, that's right. I love
And
Montrose.
then now he's with Sammy Hagar in like the Circle or something, which I saw them last year at the Ryman while we were at Dark Horse.
Oh yeah.
That was. I've never seen anyone with whiter teeth. I don't. That's
They're
the
probably
most memorable
veneers. They're
thing.
probably veneers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was
How
like,
close were
those
you
aren't-
sitting?
I was in the balcony. I was far away.
they must have
And
been
they
so
were like,
shiny.
so bright.
Dude,
It
that's
was crazy.
wild.
So shiny.
I've never seen somebody with whiter teeth from a balcony.
Literally.
Insane.
But dude, no, the lineup was Sammy, it was Mike Lantley from Van Halen playing bass and vocals, and that was great. They did Ain't Talking About Love or something. And
Oh, that's like my favorite.
or
Van
some,
Halen
well, one of
song.
the for first album songs, and Sammy walked off, and Michael sang it because it was a David song.
Yeah.
So Sammy was like, "Oh, you do that." On drums was Jason Bonham, son of John Bonham,
I love Jason.
and then
Bonham.
I
He's so
cannot remember the guitar player's name, but he's the guy he's had for forever, 20, 30 years, whatever. I don't remember.
This is
He's great.
This is a podcast. This is the good place for hot takes.
Yes.
Go for it.
Do not like David Lee Roth. I really struggle to
Yeah,
listen.
you've talked about this before.
I know. I really struggle to listen to. I mean, obviously, like there's classics like "Ain't Talk About Love." That's one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time.
Yeah.
But like Van Halen 1 and 2 are great. But oh man, after like being a kid and having my dad sit me down and been like, listen to the albums of Sammy Hagar. I'm
Yes.
like, this is a 10 times a better band
Yeah.
than what they were before. No shade on David Lee Roth. I just don't think he's as good as Sammy Hagar. I don't think.
It's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like, a lot of the hardcore fans are like, it's David Lee Roth.
Yeah, the OG guy.
Yeah, why don't you like David Lee Roth? I was like, it's not that I don't like him. It's just Sammy's
Because
better.
Sammy's a better singer. You know? Like-
That's how I kind of feel about some of Black Sabbath stuff because obviously Black Sabbath is Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
That
like
was
Dio
you know,
more?
but I would not say I like any vocalist
Stop
more.
this. We got to break
than
up
Ozzy.
now.
But no, when I'm saying, hey, let me finish.
No,
let me finish.
I am. I never thought.
I just think that Dio is objectively a better singer, but
yeah.
I think that Ozzy Osbourne is better for Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like the same way
Interesting.
about Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth.
I kind of agree with that. At first, I thought you were about to say some slanderous shit.
Ozzy Osbourne can't
the
sing.
first podcast that More Weights invited on, and Zach just gets out here is like, dude, Ozzy
Get
Osbourne
canceled in the metal
sucks,
community.
all right?
You will never be welcome.
I was
back.
like, dude, like I think I have to kick you out of the band.
No,
now.
honestly,
Like,
I think I got pretty emotional when I saw news about like Ozzy's health decline recently
yeah,
in the last
I saw
week or
that.
two.
dude, I got real sad about
I
that.
love Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah,
and we need to
dude.
keep him. We need to cherish him, and we need to keep him alive at all
Well, he
costs.
said he's like I'm gonna die on tour. He's like, I will die in a tour van. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a road dog. This is my life. And I'm like,
I heard that he wants to do like once he's like knows it's gonna be like the end, do one final show with like all of his friends and stuff.
that'd be so cool.
Have it
Tickets
here.
There's
That would
almost
be
no
insane.
amount of money.
They should do it here live at
to
the Franklin Theater
Come on down, Ozzy.
But also, who's left?
of his friends.
Like of that just
Slash.
generation of rock stars.
Slash.
Like nothing.
Slash.
Like going back to Van Halen, nothing baffled me more than the day that Eddie Van Halen died. R.I.P.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah,
I still have his picture
I
framed
was
on my
like-
coffee
I was with
table.
Flick.
I was like, oh my
remember that.
god, like
You
this
told
is
me about
insane.
that.
Shrine.
And all of these celebrities and stuff are posting, like pictures from back in the day. And I get one of Ozzy Osbourne, doing his in memoriam post for Eddie Van Halen. I'm like, how the hell did you outlive Eddie Van Halen?
Literally.
How did you outlive?
So true.
Like how? Like and I sat
How
and
did
thought
he
about all
outlive
of the
the
rock
80s?
stars.
Like-
Exactly. How did he outlive?
How did he
the
make it to
80s?
the 90s
Like,
even?
dude, I sit and think about like all of like the rock stars that I've idolized that have passed away, and then I think about Ozzy Osbourne. I'm like, that he outlived them all. Are you
I know.
kidding me? That's
wild.
insane to
Kicking.
me.
Still kicking.
It's
Dude,
wild.
Still
I
kicking.
read something. I don't know if it was true, but I heard that he had a specific medical condition that like made his tolerance for
Eternal.
drugs.
Invincible. Yeah.
Like yeah, basically.
eternal. It made him eternal.
I don't know. Like I've read that a long time ago, and I might be twisting
Yeah.
it, but I heard that it was some medical condition he had, which is why he just hasn't overdosed and died yet. Like I'm sure he's
His
overdosed.
body can just-
I'm sure
Ozzy,
he's overdosed
Ozzy
a couple of
Osbourne
times,
is
but
the first person to be medically immortal.
even on his deathbed, they're like, dude, he's been on hospice for 5 years.
I'll take another drink.
No,
Dude,
the drink.
do you remember in 2003 when they canceled the Osbournes? He's been in hospice ever since. All right, like nothing. Like it's just super long term. He's
Yes.
just dragging it out at this point.
Extremely long term.
We'll be in our 60s, and he's like, "All right, this is it."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. My grandkids are gonna be like, "Did you know Ozzy Osbourne died?" I'm like, "What?"
Impossible.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway, though, the goal is to get him into metal today.
I'm wearing a Chicago shirt.
Now, I
'cause
think
saw
we
them
need-
yesterday.
And I worked there yesterday.
To
We didn't even
stand
see each
firm.
other.
We
Yeah.
didn't. Well, I was way in the back.
Yeah, I was way at the other back on this.
Opposite ends. But I think we need to preface and say we're not trying to get him into like the heaviest grindcore band of all time.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to fully convert
We're gonna
you
get him into
like,
mayhem by the end of the day.
Yeah, no. I think I would love another step forward of regular listening of maybe some heavier music. Now,
I mean, I don't know if we're shooting right into this.
go for it. Go.
I've thought about this, and everyone's
no.
gonna. You two are gonna roll your eyes, and I want you to follow me here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a better introduction from hard rock into heavy metal than the Black Album by Metallica. I think that
actually
is
agree.
the perfect entry album of like.
See,
Do you
That-
like Metallica? I thought you liked Metallica.
I don't. I just don't know the discography
Okay.
Yeah.
well enough. I know. I don't dislike them.
But you don't listen to it like
I
regularly.
don't. I don't.
Yeah, see, yeah, like that to me is the album that's like. It's really not that heavy, but it's heavier than a lot of hard rock stuff, even that's still coming out today. And then like you like sink your teeth in a little bit more, and you're like, "Ooh, that's what thrash metal." You know what I mean? You're like when you get to like the
Yeah.
earlier stuff, or even some of the stuff they had later, it's like, "Oh God, okay."
Yeah.
You know, like it very quickly is like, "Oh, you want a little bit more of this? How about an extra 10 pounds?" You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that's-
Yeah.
So how are we gonna do this? Am I gonna how are we gonna listen?
Well, we're not going to do it in the moment. I think we just
We're
need
gonna
to
hold
talk.
you down
I
and
think,
put the earbuds in.
You ever seen a Clockwork Orange in the movie theater and his eyes wide open?
I think
My
we need
eyes.
to therapy this and figure out what in your brain is
therapy?
causing you to not listen to heavier
It's not-
music. Is it the vocals? Is it the screaming?
I
Is it
Is it
just
something that
don't-
happened with your parents when you were really young?
This is a safe space, man.
I just didn't grow up with it.
It's okay. We're here for
No,
you, man.
stop.
Come here.
No, but like,
Give me
is
a
there
hug.
something about heavier music that that objectively you just don't like? Is it this like, do you not
I
like
don't
screaming
care
vocals?
for yelling.
So you don't like screaming vocals?
I don't care for that.
All right, let's get him into Kill Switch Engage.
Yeah, dude. I will say this too, like, and this is also a hot take. I don't really like a lot of '80s anything because I don't like.
All right, this has been the Green Room Podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We don't
Follow
know
us on TikTok.
But I mean, I feel like you could get that if you listen to any of the music that I've ever written in my life. It's very not '80s.
90s.
Yeah, because for me, it's like I don't like super high vocals. I mean, obviously, a
Okay.
female vocalist is like, they have a higher vocal
Yeah.
register.
Yeah.
But like,
So no Michael Jackson?
no Michael Jackson.
Dude,
You know,
we should write
I grew up. That was one of the first people I like. Like I had the greatest hits double CD too, from the spanning like 3 decades or whatever. And I was like, I put that on my CD player all the time.
When I was a kid, we had the double disc of all of his like greatest music videos.
Yeah.
And we'd watch that in those crappy little TVs that you have on like the back of your parents' seat in the car. You know?
Yes.
Oh, those
Me and my
the
sister-
DVD player.
Me and my
I
sister
want
would
one
watch
of
those,
those.
and that was just kind of like,
Throwback.
oh yeah, like this is cool. And then, like as I got older, I was just like, what's death metal? You know? And then
Yeah.
and then later went back and was like, oh, I'm just not an MJ guy anymore. And then as I got older, you know, the documentary and stuff came out, and I was like, oh, thank God I got off that train when I did. You know? I was like,
I
I
never-
did not have to explain to any of my friends why I liked this music when I was
I
8
never
years old.
said
you know?
that question to myself. I was like, what's death metal? I never even asked.
See, I can't even give you like I can't help you with a good in-between band to get you into metal because I went off the deep end.
Same,
I like
dude.
Skillet, and I saw Red live at like Winter
I
Jam.
know Skillet.
Yeah, I saw
knew
them,
about
and then I was
Skillet.
like, yo, like I was there with my sister, my 2 cousins, and they were like, yo, this screaming stuff, it's so weird and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, so this sucks.
Yeah, dude, this is lame.
And then I started like listening to Chelsea Grin like immediately.
Yeah. For me, I think it was not so much into my later teenage years, but when I was younger, I had very strict parents.
Yeah.
They weren't like extremely, like they were still cool. They're still cool guys, but like,
Shout out our moms and dads.
yeah, shout out mom
Shout
and
out.
dad, Brian and Kelly, absolute legends.
Yo, is your dad's name Brian?
It is.
My
With a
dad's
Y.
name
Never
is
knew that.
Brian.
What?
With a
It's
Y
not
or an I.
Kelly.
Oh, an I.
Oh, she was
My name is also technically Brian.
Your name's Brian?
Your name's
both-
Brian?
it's
You've
both-
been lying to me
It's
for like
no,
a year?
no, it's my middle name, but it's my
Is your name
dad's
Zach
middle name.
Brian?
Yes, it is.
What's
Every
your
time I
last
pass
name?
the billboard on I-40, I see it, and I'm like,
Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this?
my
known
driver's
you for
permit said
years.
Zachary Brain Britt.
Oh,
Zachary
Britt.
Brain.
Zachary Brian Britt.
I'm gonna call you
Yeah.
the Brain. from
CBB.
now on.
ZB squared.
Zach Brown band.
Zip. I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
no,
you.
but like I remember like my dad. I mean, my dad's a big metalhead. He got me into bands like Metallica and Korn and System of a Down when I was definitely way
Korn.
too young. And but like there were some bands that he still was like, these guys suck. And there was kind of like an element of like getting into heavy metal from your dad. There is an element of like, I want to like the same stuff that he does, so he thinks I'm cool. You know, like,
Yeah.
and him being and one of the bands was like. He was like, I despise Slipknot. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And they're a good band. I feel like they're a good band to get into metal because they have like the song Snuff, the super
Yeah.
melodic. It's the ballad one. There's no
Yeah.
screaming.
Yeah,
but
Snuff.
they still have the aesthetic of
Yeah.
what Slipknot is. And then there's songs like off that album, Dead Memories, where it's all singing, but it's like, you know, it's a rock song.
Yeah.
And you're still like, I feel like I just slowly got used to the aesthetic of Slipknot and just wanted more and more of it. And then all of a sudden I'm listening to Iowa front to back, which is still to this day, like at 14 years old, listening to that album is one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had with music.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what am I, like I just immediately being like, let's go back and listen to this one. It's terrifying.
It is
But like,
It's a crazy sound for an album.
Yeah,
album's
dude.
just so
and it, like
can't
the,
pinpoint it. I don't know.
the stories behind it,
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that's a rabbit hole to fall into on the internet.
Yeah.
Even if you don't,
Do I want to? Though?
even if you don't you don't have to even listen to the record. You can just read stories about how they made it. That's the whole to get into on the internet because
I would be interested in
that
that.
will just tell you, oh, I know what the album sounds like now. You know,
Weren't
what
they
I mean?
all like at each other's throats for that album?
They were like there was a lot of like substance abuse and stuff like that. Like they like a lot of the times were like actively trying to kill each other in the studio.
Yeah, Corey Taylor had a horrible problem with
Yeah.
alcoholism during that album.
Yeah,
right?
dude. So did everybody else in the band, but especially him. Yeah, I mean, and the album sounds like that. So I guess just
Sounds like alcoholism.
it sounds like that. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Yeah. Here you go, buddy. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go over there.
We are not sponsored.
Yeah, I was about to,
We're
and I
not
forgot how
sponsored
far
by
away
Miller
you were.
Lite, but
I am.
We could dream, right?
You're sponsored by Miller Lite.
That'd be
No,
sweet.
but I wish.
But yeah, I feel like getting into metal music is one of those things that like there's so many different flavors of all styles of music.
Oh, yeah.
But especially with metal, like it's almost memified of how many different styles there
There's
are.
literally, it's crazy.
And it really just depends on like what are you like for me it's like what am I
Subgenres aren't real.
what am I looking
That's a
to
hot
get
take, I
out
think.
of a musical experience? It's
Yeah.
like for a lot of people, but like in the 80s, it was I'm looking to bang hot chicks and do blow. It's like, okay, cool. Like that's what's up, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and then of course like there was a lot of other things happening in rock and metal in the 80s, but that was the most popular brand.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s came around with like there was grunge and stuff like that, but like metal took a much more dark and alternative turn as well with a lot of things like industrial. It was a lot of like almost soul searching kind of stuff. And then the 2000s came around and it was back to partying and stuff, you know.
Can I give another hot take real quick?
Go for it.
Industrial metal was a mistake.
I will.
Give me a band. Give me a band.
Yeah, like
specifically.
Okay,
when we say industrial metal,
I'm gonna say Nine Inch Nails, but I like Trent Reznor kind of as a person.
I can't get on board with this. I can't. I really thought you were spitting for a second.
I
dude.
can't comment on any of them.
Also Ministry. I don't really like Ministry that much.
I don't like
Although
Ministry.
I heard them live. They played with Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
I do like Rob Zombie. That's kind of industrial,
I
right?
feel like 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like industrial metal had its time. I definitely think it's not popular anymore, but I think it was an important step. You know.
It does kind of peek its head out in some like core stuff, like
Yeah.
Darko US, like
Yeah, dude.
that's kind of got some of that Nine Inch Nails kind
Almost
of
all modern metalcore.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What makes it industrial?
It's like it's
There's
very
a certain
sample heavy.
There's a certain techno element. to
yeah,
it.
it's very
Really?
electronic
You know what I mean?
metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not in like a
It's not like you would
Not
think
a
it's
dance
electronic
way.
music. You wouldn't think it's electronic music, but it's so thick and heavy with sample layers.
You know who Trent Reznor is?
No.
You need to, dude.
Nine Inch
I
Nails.
don't even think
Not
I know
even
anyone
as a,
named
as a
Trent.
producer and like from a musician. Dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
You're like Trent's a name.
I think one thing that's important is that I have started playing Deftones around him, and he loves the drum tones.
Oh, let's go.
so I
baby.
think let's dive into drums.
What do you think
for
of
a
that?
little
What do you
bit.
think of that snare?
I think we should dive into drums
I love
because
Deftones
as a drummer,
snares,
we
man.
need to get metal drums are sick, dude.
They're
sick.
it's a thing.
The reverb,
I don't know. I think they need
They're
more
not
mid
my
range.
favorite, but
the
it's
giant reverbs.
like the reverbs and stuff. Because the gated reverb from the '80s is
it's good. Yeah.
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 I really like the snare bombs and a lot of stuff. Like Fit for a King used to do it a lot. I don't know on their newer albums as much, but on their older albums, they'll do like the reverse reverb right before a breakdown snare hit.
Yeah.
It's very cool. They do them live too. So
I'm in the wrong band because I really love punk and hardcore, and I like the idea of just putting two mics in a garage and then
And
just
doing
being
an
like,
album
this
like
is
that.
how the whole album is going to sound. You
two
know?
mics, just
Yeah, you know?
stereo recording.
Yeah.
Just
No,
the
I showed
whole
up.
live band.
I showed up to record or to we were day one of recording for Downfall, and just the setup and everything that you guys had going on in the garage. I was just like,
I think we had 16 mics on the drum kit.
you
didn't we?
did, and it got to a point where I literally was like, I'm gonna grab a beer and sit on the couch because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them do their thing, and
We're also
Brandon was
very
like,
ambitious.
I have the utmost faith that it's going to sound good.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, and
We're
if it
being
doesn't,
very
we can fix it
ambitious.
later. And yeah, just you two going back and forth. I was like, I can't add anything to this conversation.
Yeah.
It was wild.
That was a disastrous day too, because I don't think we used any of the recordings
We did.
from
the
that
trash
day.
can thing. That you
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
The
rid of the
gabagool
pot
mic,
show.
dude.
The pot mic.
Gabagool mic.
The
yeah,
pot
he showed me
mic.
that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It
sounded horrible.
It did. That's why I loved it. I loved it so much. I really,
was so bad.
I really
I'm
wish.
so glad we didn't use it.
It was
really
so bad,
wish
but
that
so
was-
good.
I really wish it was going on the record, but I understand why.
I
it's
wish that
not.
it sounded the way that in our heads. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Like, I
we
wish
should
it
try
sounded-
cast iron next time instead of
Yeah,
stainless
yeah, yeah,
steel.
Copper.
That's a good idea.
Let's try it with my cast iron skillet.
Let's go to
aim it
Sam.
at the skillet hanging from somewhere and just get the reverberation.
Dude, let's go to Sam's and just buy a bunch of kitchen stuff.
yeah, just start putting mics in
the
it.
spatula mic.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
just go to
the
Goodwill.
blender mic.
Spoon.
Yeah.
Get everything for like 50 cents at Goodwill. It's perfect.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
But drum wise though, like in heavier music, like just in the post, like in production and stuff.
Yeah, well, all you say it's like very sample heavy. Like
I was getting ready to
I was
say
about
you
to say,
don't like
let's-
sample
Yeah, that's what I was
layers,
kind of
don't you?
leaning into.
I'm
is
not a
the
sample
samples
guy.
thing.
I'm not a sample guy.
Amen, brother.
I get the tone the day of. Just do it.
Now,
So, come on.
I think it's situational because like
And I agree.
our song,
If you can though,
I'm not actually using a single sample at all. I'm just using so much parallel processing and
That it feels like.
and affecting it in different ways in parallel that it's basically like I'm sampling, but I'm just sampling his snare.
Why didn't you sample?
I was trying to do it without having to sample. I think
the goal
actually,
is always
I
to
think there
not
is a
use
sample.
samples,
Yeah.
unless
I
you're
think there's a
going
kick
for
sample.
a
Sample. But
electronic.
you just said
maybe.
it sounds like you're sampling anyway.
Well, because if you like today, I was listening to the song "Lavos" by Monuments. I don't know if you guys know that song, but
know
it is
Monuments. I know
He
produced
the
shouts
band,
out all these
wild.
names. I never know him.
It's wild, but like I was listening to all my heavy music today coming in, and I just
wasn't.
I was listening to it from your perspective, and all the snares are super compressed, super blown up compared to
What's my perspective?
like
I want to know what you think my perspective is.
I don't know you.
Not
I'm
liking
thinking
screaming is
because
probably a big one.
I'm trying to think back to when because I got into heavy music from being a Guns N' Roses fan, so it's kind of like you being a Journey
That's
fan.
a better gateway.
Brother,
drug,
I was just
though,
about to
then.
say, I was
That's
like,
way closer.
you name dropping all these bands. I literally like had a moment of like a proud dad vibe. Where I was like, remember when he only listened to Guns N' Roses and Slash?
Yeah.
Now look at you.
All
Yeah,
he
literally.
Name
talks
dropping
about. All
metalcore
he
bands
talks
that even
about.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, but it's like I know that when you go into it, it's like it just seems like it's a lot, and so it's like when you listen to it, you take it as a lot first, and so it's kind of like you got to listen to it a few times, like actually when you're new
And
to it,
dissect
you
it
know,
and everything. Yeah.
yeah, and so
You
I
just have
think
to tap into this primal rage within you. Everyone's angry about something.
Well, that's
and
what I
then
was
get it out
saying
when
is
you-
like, going back to what I was saying was like, what are you looking to get from a musical experience? Are you looking to tap into, like for me, like metal perfectly encapsulates like the outcast experience. And that can come from a lot of usually negative experience, mainly anger and rage or sadness. So it's like, are you looking to assuage and soothe an anger element within you? And if so, brother, death metal, a lot of the new metal stuff,
Yeah.
like deathcore especially, like that's what's up. But there's still a lot of elements of like what bands that I would still consider like heavy that are like Deftones is a good example of like, yeah, I mean, Chino's screaming his head off in half of the record, but like there's a lot of more like shoegaze elements and things like that. Like it really just does depend. Like saying that you like metal music is such a umbrella thing to say.
Yeah.
Because
I
I know
like pop
people-
music. Like,
Yeah, I know people who would describe that would say I like metal music, and I would say I like metal music too. And then we sit down and talk about the bands that we like.
Yeah,
and
nothing.
they don't like a single one that I like, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, so it
Not
really
only
just,
that, but the bands have beef too, so y'all automatically
exactly.
have
So
beef.
now I'm
Carries
mad.
over,
yeah.
yeah.
You're like, sorry, I wanted to be your friend, but
Yeah, there's also exactly. Yeah, I'm like, dude, no, listen, their first album was sick, but then they kicked out the singer, and
yeah.
but yeah, it's it really just does depend on what you're looking for, especially from like a music production standpoint. If you're looking for super amazing production, you're gonna find a lot of that. If you're looking for not super amazing, there's for every metal band that sounds absolutely killer in a studio, there's probably 10 that really don't, and you might like those too. Like this is the first time I think I'm saying this in a setting
go.
like this.
Here we go.
You know where it's going.
Uh-oh.
I don't. I'm.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
My favorite album of all
Oh,
time
no.
is Saint Anger by Metallica, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
That is
So
such
me
an
and Brendan
amazing
have been
album.
talking, and we think we want to go in a different
Yeah, I
direction
know.
with the band.
I knew it was gonna come.
I think
to this
Massimo
today.
actually was going to hop on vocals. and
Yeah,
guitar.
oh yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, I brought it's right there, man. Go for it.
Take it. It's your guitar now.
Okay.
But yeah, like that was another moment where like listening to metal with your dad, and he's like, "Dude, this album sucks." I'm like, 8, so I'm like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." And then I sat down and listened to it, and was like, "This is
She lied to
insane."
me.
Exactly. Like it's
Yeah.
like, but and it really like anytime somebody is like, "That album sounds like trash," I'm like, "Oh, I know, I know it does. That's why I like it." So it depends what you're trying to get out of the experience.
Yeah,
And you'll know pretty quick. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of time somebody's been like, listen to this band, they're sick. And then I get 30 seconds into the song and I'm like, nope,
No.
not for me.
not
You know, I'm like,
yeah.
that's just not what I'm into.
I will say though, I have had several bands I've gotten into that when I first listened to them, like Silent Planet being one of them. Silent Planet's my
Yeah.
favorite band, probably, like top 5 maybe. But I've been listening to them for a long time, and I did not like them until I saw them live. I listened to them in the
Wow,
studio,
really?
and I was like, this is a weird sound. I don't like
Some
it.
bands are like that.
And
though.
then I saw them
Yeah.
live, and I was like, this is insane. I went and bought a shirt. I saw them at Warped Tour in 2017 for the first time, and I've probably seen them like 6 times since. And like, I'm sure they will be my top band this year on Spotify Wrapped
Oh,
still.
I was gonna say that's crazy because I know how much you love Silent Planet.
Yeah, I didn't like them the first time I listened to them. I was like, this is weird because they have a very odd, unique sound, especially when they've changed a lot, but when their most recent album at the time was, I think, Everything Was Sound or something like that. It was like
Yeah.
their third album. They've come out with 3 since then. So it was like a weird noise, weird
It is
kind
strange,
of
yeah.
vibe. Like,
It's kind of like getting into heavy metal is like trying to get into whiskey.
yeah, it
know?
is. It is.
It's
No,
like
that's
you
an
have
analogy.
to want it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the first time that you sit down with a bottle of like straight rye whiskey and just drink it straight, it's not going to be an enjoyable experience. But if you start with, sweet cocktails with ginger ale and stuff, and then you get to an old fashioned, and then you get to a Manhattan, and then you're just drinking it straight. It's like it's a progression.
Yeah.
You know, like
I would do the cocktail and stay there.
which
They're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't
which
need
is
whiskey.
fine. But in that way, to me, you're still a whiskey drinker.
That's right.
You know, like I listen to stuff so much that like I listen to things that like I'm like scared to tell people that I listen to. You know what I mean? Like I might.
Yeah.
Confessions time.
One of the
Confessions time.
scariest things I've ever heard in my life is a song called "Burn Victim" by the band Meth Witch. It is so.
That's a
it
kind of
is-
sick name, though.
It is great. Like it is like still like one of the heaviest things I'd ever heard. But like it was one of those things of like I remember I was like I want to say a senior in high school and I was listening to it in class before a psychology class because that was what I had first period and I literally thought to myself if anybody walked by and heard this they would call the police. They would think that I'm going to lose it and like do some crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like yeah, like just because you don't enjoy that doesn't mean you're not a metalhead. Like I
Yeah.
think the heaviest band my dad listened to as a kid was like Korn and System of a Down, and to me that's still metal. My roommate Flick in Shut Eye, go check them out. They have a song out. They're pretty cool.
Shut Eye.
When I met
Yeah,
him, he
Shut Eye.
hated metal.
Yeah.
He absolutely hated metal. He was only into like John Frusciante from Red Hot Chili Peppers
Mac
and Mac
Miller.
Miller and Jimi Hendrix. And then he had an experience at a house show where he saw just a bunch
Which
of hardcore
band
bands.
was it?
It was the
Was it a Purity show?
it was the Purity, Vital Part, Circuit, and Achilles Heel show.
I
at the
remember that
House
show.
Hall.
I didn't know that was his first.
That was his first hardcore show.
Dude, that was great. I didn't even think I knew you guys then.
No.
But I think I just saw y'all around.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because we just ran half wall.
Yeah.
But he literally saw that and was like, he described it as like a religious experience, and then to this day is just like still discovering new music.
And now he's in like a post-hardcore punk kind of band.
Yeah, super post punky, very Idols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to. Do you want to talk about your Chicago show? We should have done it at the top of the
Oh, it
thing.
was a great show.
Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
I wish I knew more songs.
Okay.
I went in a little blind. Well, and I bought. Remember, I bought the tickets right before we did an episode. Me neither. What?
I
don't
know
know, nothing.
I don't know a single Chicago song.
25 or 6 to 4.
I mean, I'm sure if I like heard it, it's one of those
Sure,
things you
brother.
just hear them in
You
like
definitely
movie
know what they sound
soundtracks
like.
and stuff.
No,
like that.
I know what they
Inspiration.
sound like, but like I was like,
Oh,
can I name a song or a lyric or anything? And
To be honest, I thought they were the ones that sang More Than a Feeling.
That's Boston.
Exactly.
that's the other city.
Yeah, I know. When I got there, I was like, "Oh wait, no, that's Boston." Okay.
That is
Guys, can we
hilarious.
change our band name to Nashville?
Dude, Franklin.
No.
Leaper's Fork.
Columbia.
Let's be
Oh my
Leaper's
God.
Fork.
We're Leaper's Fork.
Hey, everybody,
From
we're
Nashville.
Leaper's Fork. Open that pit.
I want to see some heads roll.
Leaper's Fork actually could be a cool band name. Doesn't sound like a city.
No, yeah. It'd be a
Franklin
cool,
just sounds like-
pop punk kind of band.
What even is a leaper?
It's like not even spelled like leaping. It's like L-I-P,
It's,
right?
It's L-E-I, right?
Wasn't it a dude?
L-E-I-R.
No, I before
Leaper?
E, bro.
Except that for C.
Except for
Wasn't-
Leaper.
There's
Wasn't
no
it a
C in
person?
leaper.
Oh.
Somebody, is that somebody's last name? I think I could
Fork?
totally.
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't there like from like
Yeah.
no? Isn't there like
Fork's
in the,
drum
in the
closet?
Civil War or something? Wasn't there like a
General Leaper?
That sounds
Sounds
real
right.
as hell.
Sounds really right.
That
sounds really right.
That sounds really correct.
Guys, it's General Fork, guys.
Oh yeah.
General Fork. See, that's what.
General Fork sleeper. So they just switched it around. It's in an anagram.
Last time we were on this stage, we had Chad on, and we talked about amp sims versus not, and in-ears versus monitors.
Episode 13. Check out.
We
the
should have the episode, or we should have a conversation because we're also kind of actively having it with each other.
We
for
are.
the
Yeah,
future.
we're actively deciding.
So.
It's so funny, like, we're not a band yet, but we're, like, on a podcast. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's
You
like
mean you're not a band yet?
No one knows who we are.
We don't have any music out.
We have no music out
yeah.
yet. I don't know if we will by the time this airs.
Yeah.
We don't have any merch. We've played
We're
3
deciding
shows.
that today.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
So
exactly. We are.
Have it come out on Halloween.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Or the day before.
No, we'll figure it out.
Okay, buy our merch today when you're watching
Yes.
this. When it
Buy our
comes
merch
out.
that we haven't even
What
made
is the
yet.
Friday?
We'll probably
before
have merch
Halloween?
Friday
the
before
28th.
Halloween.
I think it's the 28th.
27th.
Oh, it's 27th.
Suck it, I got it.
That was close. I mean, honestly, I was thinking I would have been so off.
October 27th.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know the
31st
days of
is
the
on
week.
a Tuesday.
I don't work weekdays 9 to 5. The days of the week have no effect on me. I don't even know what today
I'm the
is.
same way, but I'm still like very abnormally aware of what day of the week it is because I have such a screwed up schedule. Like it's not a 9 to 5; it's the complete opposite. That I feel like I have to know what
Yeah.
day.
You were
it is.
saying about amp sims?
I was just saying, what do you guys think? Amp sims versus
Yay
real
or
amps,
nay?
but also because it's like because Zach obviously doesn't use an amp. It's like ears versus wedges.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah, it's like digging into my back.
Oh.
That thing's thick.
I love the idea of amp sims as somebody who has some experience in the touring industry. They're so nice. Like the idea of like having a Kemper with in-ear monitors. You can
Kempers are
sound
really
check.
cool,
You
yeah.
can sound check without anybody knowing, and you just go on stage and like go. You can fly with them a lot easier than you can fly with like a cab and a head setup.
Yeah.
They are super lightweight. The tones are usually pretty all right at the very least, which is cool. Which if you're like just touring, it's like whatever. You just need volume. You don't need sound.
Yeah.
The purist in me says you just cannot beat the raw power.
The air
of
moving
a
from
big-
an amp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yep.
As much as I wish that they weren't a couple $1,000s, it's worth it every time.
Yeah.
Like carrying that on stage sucks. Absolutely sucks. Carrying it off. I mean, like touring with my Marshall DSL 40 sucked. Once this orange setup comes in the mail, I don't want to imagine.
you
what
got
that's gonna
orange?
be like.
Is it ordered officially?
It's ordered officially.
Nice. That's great.
So now
Yes.
everybody can stop telling me to not buy it.
What'd you get? What'd you get officially? What'd you get?
What
What'd
was
you
that?
get?
Like, yeah, what model?
Like what model? Like,
It's
what'd you get?
orange.
I don't even remember.
It's orange. It's
orange,
one
dude.
color, man.
Come on, man.
One color fits all.
I can look and tell you
I was
real quick
wondering.
here.
That's sweet.
But yeah, no, like everybody was like, you should not buy orange. And I was like,
You shouldn't.
but it's too late. I already did it. Listen, anytime anybody involved in metal tells me to not buy orange, all I have to say is that's what Knock Loose uses
I actually
on
want an
their new
orange bass
record
amp.
and for all of their new tours.
Do they really?
They do. I bought the Super Crush
Guess I'm not listening
100
to Knocked Loose anymore.
and the PPC 212V.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are good heads.
I don't know what any of that means.
It's a good sound head. It's a heavy.
Okay, it's a good sound head.
high
Yeah.
gain. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
drummers.
Drummers.
I'll probably, and you know what? In probably 3 years, I'll probably end up buying
Something else.
a Kemper or something for touring.
Kempers are, I think, like, I have no problem with Kempers for, like, live shows because it's practical. No one's paying attention to
Yeah,
the
don't use it in the
quality as
studio.
much.
You just need volume when you're
You just
playing
need volume.
live.
People just want to hear you play. But in the studio, I would much rather be able to brag later and be like, that's real amps. Those are all real drums. We took the time and effort rather than like every time I'm like, dude, the guitar tone sounds great. What'd you do? And it's like, oh, I just used Nolly, you know?
Exactly. I use a preset.
Just one of the presets and it sounds great. And I'm like,
Which
I
is
guess,
like
yeah, it does
a
sound great.
conversation that I remember the three of us having way early on with this band was like, hey, we're recording our record in a garage.
Yeah.
If it sounds like we recorded it in a garage, I personally don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because that is what we did. Like, I want this to be an authentic sounding record. If we made it in a garage, obviously let's make it sound the best that we can. And I think you guys crushed it on recording. I think your mixes are, thank God you're the one mixing this, because if it was up to me, it would sound like absolute garbage. But like,
Mix it on your laptop speakers.
exactly, yeah, like the saloon scene.
The whole
record.
saloon scene
Now
EP.
I have
What
monitors.
those?
Now I have monitors. Now I got my monitors fixed. I have monitors.
Hey, I'll tell you what. You know your laptop speakers better than I think anyone knows their laptop speakers.
That is, I will
mixing
die
on
on
those
that
things
hill,
for like
dude.
3 years.
Dude, my demos aren't horrible.
For being on a laptop. Yeah.
You can hear everything.
Let me tell you though, you love compression, man. Your whole mixes are always like pumping, dude. Like as soon as the kick drum kit comes in, it's like the whole guitar is like.
I love it. And that's why I'm not the one mixing this record. I told you, anytime you guys would go back and forth in the group chat about like super like minuscule details of the mix, I wouldn't add anything because I'm like, they don't want to know what I think this record sounds like.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy with what we got, but like if I was the one with my grubby little hands on it, it would be, what's that Knock Loose song where it's like the breakdown hits? It's off the Split EP. Where the breakdown hits and the whole thing just
whole thing squashes. Oh, I think it's
dude.
Burnt Toast or
something
or
like that.
Detaw.
Yeah,
The song.
I don't know if I know this song. What happened?
Burnt Toast, dude. The Split EP songs that they did with Damaged Goods.
Death to All Hype Beasts.
Oh my god,
Burnt Toast. I think they are.
Burnt Toast. Is that what that stands for?
Death to All Hype.
I just been calling it Detaw for years.
No, yeah, Death to All Hype Beasts.
Is that a lyric in the song?
That's the name.
cool.
I don't know for a fact, but I remember in an interview they talked about how annoying they thought like the hype beast movement was.
Oh yeah, they're the
Like,
worst.
Yeah, like the Supreme and like the Q-tip haircut, and that's what they made the song about.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did not know that. I was wondering that like 2 weeks ago. It's on one of my playlists. Like I love that song.
Yeah.
And I was like, still don't know what this means. Oh well, great song though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love that style of recording.
Just crushed. And it's like a trash can and a garbage compactor.
Well, to me, like there's something a lot more
Now I get it.
authentic to like at least as an artist, like watching an absolute master of their craft do what they're doing is cool. But there's also something really encapsulating of somebody who's like, no idea what I'm doing, but here we go, baby. Like also
Yeah.
gives me the same emotion. And yeah, like the idea of like making a record in a garage and it's sounding kind of like shit doesn't bother me because, well, this is, I mean, one day if we're, if we get to album 3 or 4 and we're signed to a label and we're given all this money, then we're going to rent out a really nice studio with a really great producer and a lot of engineers, and that's going to sound like that. But until we get to that point, we're not that band.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like that band if we're not that band. I want to be kind of authentic to where we are.
Yeah.
At least that's my kind of
I agree.
mission statement. Is
And
just
like for me,
authenticity.
like listening back to old, like more, like not more weight, I almost said more weight, like Bush Listen White and like old stuff, it sounds like, and like hearing the progression of a band, I love hearing
exactly.
Yeah.
like if it always every record sounds the exact same, it's like
It's
just songwriting.
It's always nice when you like a band and they set their like level, like this is where they start, and it's like, okay, I don't pay attention to bands' first albums being like less quality. You just like it for the music, and then the next album sounds better, and then you notice it,
like,
and then
whoa!
you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds great. And then the next album, you're like, whoa, who's their
moly,
producer?
yeah.
And then the next time I was like, oh, that went downhill.
Yeah, it went down real quick. I mean, usually that's the second album.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
if you listen
That's
to A Day to
sophomore
Remember,
slump.
bro, the first album,
Of who?
A Day to Remember,
Oh,
it's clearly like in a garage, like mixed, you know what I mean? And then you go and listen to the new stuff and it's pristine, like Soothe 2, Melodyne, like
Yeah.
everything's
Soothe 2.
perfect and put
What did you
exactly
call
where
it?
needs to
No,
be. Soothe 2.
Soothe 2.
Oh,
Remember
oh, the
Soothe?
plugin?
Ted
Yeah,
used
the plugin.
Soothe on the mastering stuff.
yeah. I thought you
haven't
said
heard
like
that in a
Smooth
while.
Tooth. I was like,
that's a good.
Yeah, it's
record,
like
too.
off-brand thing like
Smooth Tooth?
Smooth Tooth?
Smooth
Yeah.
Tooth.
Smooth
Bazooka
Tooth.
Tooth.
It's not,
Tooth.
it's not
Yeah.
Bluetooth. It's,
Yeah, you said something when he said Bazooka Tooth earlier. You like
I was like, yeah, what a name.
Yeah.
The band names are always
and I gotta
fun.
be hon-
Hardcore
I gotta
bands
be
have
honest,
some crazy names.
I gotta be honest, that is the perfect name for that band.
Really?
They sound like a bazooka tooth.
Did they close?
Salt of the Earth. Yeah.
The show?
They closed the show,
they
right?
closed the
That's
show.
where I sprained my wrist. I sprained my
Yep.
wrist in their pit.
They-
Salt
yeah.
of the Earth goes so.
A lot of people, I want to say this right now, a lot of people got hurt at Bad Fest.
Someone got a bloody nose during our set.
Sorry. My friend Gavin, he's a DJ. His name is Wicked OK. He DJ'd our after party at the Lucky Duck. Shout out him. He's a very talented individual. He got destroyed. They had to glue his eyebrow back together.
Yo,
And-
really? I didn't even hear
didn't know
about
about
that.
No, he got.
Oh my God.
During our set, during our opening song, it's the breakdown and hide me, the last chance to jump ship part where
Yeah.
it's the bass intro.
Our first song, he cracked his eyebrow
wrecked.
open.
Cracked
Oh
his
my
eyebrow
God.
open and bloodied his nose. There's a picture of it on our Instagram. Shout him out, dude, because he's awesome. But a lot of people got hurt at Bad Fest, and as
Which
the
is
person
great,
running
by
it,
the
it
way.
was so scary because I was like, oh my god, and then I'd grab somebody just like holding a cloth or notes and be like, are you okay? They're like, dude, yeah, this is sick.
Yeah, metal shows are
I
great
thought I
when
was- I
somebody's like bleeding and then they're like, you check on them and they're like, dude, this is exactly what I wanted to happen.
They're like, dude, I needed this, man.
I cracked my finger open on my snare drum during our set.
Yeah,
That's the third time I've gotten blood on my
messed
snare
up during
drum.
Bad Fest, bro.
Yeah, I did. Dude, it still hurts. Like my finger where I cracked it open, it healed kind of funky.
And you
so it
basically got
just, like,
COVID
hurts.
on the cruise, bro.
I did not.
Well, you were close to.
Yeah, I'm straight up,
No cigar.
I'm immune. I don't know what was in that vaccine, but like, shit lasting.
Yeah. Bad Fest was awesome. It's really
Great
cool to
show.
just see, like, I remember first moving to Tennessee from Detroit, and everybody and their mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't both
Wait,
of
you're
y'all
from
from
Michigan,
Y'all are
too?
both
Yeah.
from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you move here?
2020.
Me too. Yeah. We both
My
moved too.
gosh, did you know each other before?
No. We met at Dark Horse out in that walkway between the school and the factory.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
My first impression was this guy's just a shorter version of me. He's Italian from Michigan.
Yeah,
He's an
dude.
Italian guy from Michigan. What the
You're
hell?
Italian too?
Wait, how far away did y'all live from each other in Michigan? Oh, okay. So
I'm
you
in
weren't
the middle
like,
of nowhere.
oh, okay.
And
I'm in Detroit. You
like
know,
in
so-
actual
like an
Detroit.
hour and a
I
half.
met so many people in that walkway that you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, that's a classic
That
hangout
is.
spot at
That's the
Dark
best
Horse.
way to
That's
meet
where all the
people.
classes
We
Remember we
congregate
did
on their
disc
15s.
golf. We were throwing them.
Oh yeah,
And
Dave
that
used to bring
little-
his golf
and we
golf
threw one
caddy
up
thing,
on
yeah.
the roof, and then I think we broke a window
Sam
or
used to do that
something.
too.
Somebody
But, like-
broke a window. I think it was a
Did you-
Canyon. Climbed
Canyon
on
went on
top.
the roof, that's
They
right.
climbed on top of the building,
I'm
and
so
then
sorry. I
some
just
random
spilled
person
beer
just
all over
tattled on
myself.
him. Like,
completely. It's
Dumb.
on camera now.
what is?
We got to
Just
zoom in on
my
that.
first sip of this can is just all over my shirt.
You just missed.
I just missed, dude. I did that yesterday.
So,
Well,
this
like,
tastes
like what I was saying, like I moved here in 2020, and everybody kept telling me how different it was. Like 5 years ago, it wasn't like this. 3 years ago, I don't recognize it. You know, from when I first moved here, and I remember
Yeah.
first moving here, and there being like everybody talking about, oh, dude, when I was a kid, you know, my hometown, we had a crazy hardcore and metal scene. Wish we had that in Nashville. I'm like, why don't we? Like, if everybody wants there to be a metal scene here, there will be if you guys just start bands and start booking shows. And then 3 years later, it's like,
Yeah, now there's
It's
definitely
booming now. Yeah, that's what.
booming.
Yeah.
And
definitely
I
seen.
like it was.
saw a
I'm not-
hardcore show in a park the
Exactly.
other day.
I'm not sitting here and saying that I'm like, oh, we had directly, but like I remember when Bad Fest came out, like with the first Bad Fest, it was like, oh yeah, this is like people want this, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like people don't necessarily want Bad Fest. They just want shows that sound like
Yeah.
this. And then right after that was when Sounds from Underground happened. I met with, you know, Grace and Cadence to give them pointers of like,
Yeah.
here's all of the mistakes that I made. Do not make
Don't
them.
do it.
Absolutely do not make them. It will save you thousands of dollars. And yeah, like it's just really interesting to like when people like I work in a bar and people all of the time come in and they go, you know, like, oh, so what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm a musician. Like country? I'm like, oh, brother. You have
thing from it.
no
You got
idea
no
what is
clue.
lurking in the underbelly of this town.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You'd be
Like,
surprised though, because like when we're here and like we're tearing down shows where it's like a singer and like a kind of a generally like Nashville booked band, we'll be like talking to her a lot. I'll be like, "Do you play?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I play bass." And be like, "Oh, what kind of music?" And I'll be like, "I'm in a hardcore band." They go, "Oh, dude, yeah, I was in a hardcore." Like a lot of
Yeah.
these country guys were hardcore guys that just got a gig, you know. So sometimes it's in people anyway, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
just
You know, a
kinda
lot of-
tucked it, you know.
it's
A
in
lot
there,
of
man.
drummers for country artists are
Are
just
metal drummers.
hired metal drummers. I was loading in for I was working Luke Combs' gig, and I was on backline, and I was like, dude, this is an insane setup. He had like as many chinas as
Dude,
I
Jelly
do.
Roll's
He had
drummer
a
is
double
nuts.
bass pedal, and I was talking to the drum tech, and he was like, yeah, dude, he's a drummer for
Is that what he did?
I want to say Counterparts, but that's probably wrong. But
That would be a crazy
would
crossover.
be-
right, I feel
nuts.
like that's probably wrong. But it was
Dude,
some
I wanna
bigger,
see
like
both those
medium
bands on tour
level.
together.
Luke
like-
Holland with Morgan Wallen. That'd be nuts, bro. Are you kidding me? That'd be sick.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
So where would you guys say are the best spots to go see hardcore metal shows in Nashville?
I'm gonna be honest. The Eye is my favorite
I've
venue, other than
It just
Half
reopened?
Wall.
It just reopened.
It just reopened.
I
I think
haven't
they
seen anything or been.
either they're about to have their first show at the new building, or they
That
just did.
lineup
I think they-
looks sick.
It's a
I
crazy.
think it was
lineup.
like last night. Was it last
Was it last night? I don't know. I talked to some of the guys
I
that
remember
worked
they posted
there.
it and I looked and was like, I'm working. It was just like, I still texted him and was like, congrats, guys. You know?
Yeah, I work
Was it
with
the place in the
a
house
couple of the
that-
guys
that
there.
got closed down?
Yeah,
Place
they
that had,
called
like,
the
the-
police.
I
and
remember
everything.
seeing
Our
Yeah.
first
Ceiling.
our
Yeah,
first
yeah.
show that was there with Christian Girls, Spaced, Shut Eye, and itch.
Yeah.
Which kind of was a nightmare, but I think we did okay.
It was one of the worst shows that I think the three of us have ever played, but like on all of our ends, like everything that could have gone wrong during that set went wrong. Perfect first More Weight show.
Yeah.
What?
It's everything's better from there.
Exactly, dude.
No, he's thinking of Dark Matter. Or not Dark Matter. What's the show out in Murfreesboro?
Crossroads.
Oh, Crossroads.
He's thinking of Crossroads.
Crossroads also got shut down, didn't it? Are they done?
That's not okay.
They're in a weird standstill still.
I see.
They're
technically played the very last set at Crossroads.
Played the very last. We were the last band to play at Crossroads to the public.
Yeah.
Where like anybody could just pull up, park the car over at the school and walk.
Was that us or was
that
that St. Jacob?
No, St. Jacob. But the three of us, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like
I keep forgetting which shows or which bands because like I keep thinking about the City Winery gig we did and I'm like, oh, that wasn't More Weight, that was St. Jacob, and I'm like thinking about
that was when like
404.
That was when like I had been going through a really tough time and I hated being a solo artist.
Yeah, we know.
But it was just convenient at the time, and I just really fell down a rabbit hole of like, I want this band thing to work out. Kind of fell down another rabbit hole of like the Salem Witch Trials and the Crucible and all of these things, and came up with
what a rabbit hole.
Just More Weight. Well, it was one of those things of like.
Do you want to tell maybe the story of the name?
Yeah, of More Weight.
Yeah.
So, do you know the play The Crucible?
Mm-hmm.
Arthur Miller is one of my favorite playwrights. I'm a theater kid. Absolutely.
I know.
I'm a theater kid.
Hey, we're on a theater stage.
Come on.
You're in my territory now.
Oh my God! This is my land.
You tricked me.
This is my land.
How did I get here? Okay.
Yeah, but there's one of my favorite plays from him is The Crucible, and the character arc of Giles Corey is always really interesting to me because he thinks the whole Salem Witch Trials are just crazy. They're stupid. It's all bullcrap. And then his wife, Martha, gets accused of being a witch. And he's like, I seen her do it. And then
Just like that.
She is found guilty and she's waiting for her execution. And he kind of comes down from mob mentality and is like, what have I done? And he speaks out against the Salem Witch Trials. They accuse him. And the way the Salem Witch Trials worked was like, you said, you were like, are you a witch? If you said yes, well, boom, they're going to kill you. If you say no, they're going to be like, oh, you're lying.
And they kill you.
Because that's what witches do.
Obviously.
And then they kill you. Yeah. And he got up there and didn't say a word. And they tried to beat it out of him and all this stuff, and he didn't say anything. And they laid him out on his back in the center of town, put a plank on top of him, and put stones on him for 3 days to get a confession. And, the judge came up to him and was like, last chance.
Answer? Yeah.
What's your confession? Like, what? Like, how do you plead? And he looked at him and he said, More Weight. And they put another stone on him, and they felt his rib cage snap, and he was crushed and died on the spot. And that was kind of the turning point for them, for the people of Salem to be like, oh, we're monsters.
Yeah.
Look what we're doing to people.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that in the play in high school and being like, that is such good writing. No, it's not. That's exactly how it happened in real life. And I was like, oh, that is so scary to imagine. Like, there's an account of like the judge coming over with his cane and putting Giles's tongue back in his mouth because it was, just the weight was crushing him that much. And just something about those words like really hit home for me at the time, just kind of going through my own personal stuff, and the idea of like his literal world was crushing in on him. His bones were moments from snapping, and he was just like, do it. Like
do it, you won't.
Like oh my gosh, energy is like crazy, and it's something you see come up in a lot of like different religions and philosophies. Like a good like parallel that I find in like Christianity is like the idea of like turn the other cheek, like somebody smacks you and you ask for it again. It's like, yeah, like that's pacifism, but it's also kind of badass to be like, to get hit, you know what I mean? Like,
It's like, you want some more?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like imagine you punch somebody as hard as you can and they're like, do it again. Like, yeah, that's scary. And like the idea of More Weight is just like artistically is like, it's all of the things that I think we love about music. Like I've never been in a band that was multiple things. It was like St. Jacob was very, it's just grungy, dirty riff music, like, and it was very simple. and then Saloon Scene had a lot of like twang and blues element to it and stuff like that.
Much
There
more
was
of like
lot
a classic rock.
Exactly. There was a
kind of.
lot more of just like straight rock and roll into it, but like a lot of grunge. Then obviously I've been in like hardcore and metal bands my whole life. So like the idea of More Weight was like, just put everything into one thing. Like I feel that like anytime I've ever joined a band or started a new band, it's like a moment to reinvent myself of like, I got to get everybody in on like, this is the new thing. And with More Weight, I don't feel that way. Mainly because I've been playing with these guys forever.
Yeah.
But also it's like, no, we're just doing what we do, but like more of it, you know? Like it's
We're just adding
more
more
weight.
weight to it. Yes. Thanks for watching the podcast,
we've come full
guys.
circle.
Like,
But yeah, that's kind of what
Hit
it
like,
means.
comment, and subscribe.
That's kind of what it means to me. And I also just think I also think it looks really good on a poster.
It is a sick name because
You
you look
know,
at,
like
it does.
when you look at a bill,
And
you
all
got
the
More
puns.
Weight, Waxed, Bazooka Tooth, Blood, BLUHD.
Yeah.
And like it's perfect.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's better than my other band where it's like Open Casket Wedding and it's just like a mouthful and it takes up the entire line of a poster. Like our name was so tiny on the first
Bad Fest.
Yeah, because it's so
remember.
long and you had to get it to fit the same space. So it was just tiny.
Yeah, we had a band drop out, and then you guys wanted to add, so I was like, okay, I'll add you guys. And then you said something. You were like, is it me or does it look smaller than everybody else's? I'm like, there's no other way I can fit it in the same margins. I'm sorry.
You know what else sucks too? The acronym isn't any less syllables.
OCW.
Or I think it's one less syllable. OCW. That's not even easy to say either.
Our acronym
It's
is
one less, yeah.
longer than the name.
It is.
MW?
Exactly. Anything with a W.
More weight.
Just call it M-Dub.
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 Or just more weight.
M-Dub.
We can just call the band by its name.
dude? We're M-Dub.
Yo, what up? Call sign M-Dubs.
Yo, what's up, dude? We're mid-weight.
Well, guys, it's been killer. I think before we get out of here, there's probably going to be a single at some point.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, pick a day. Now, go.
Yeah. This
Say
is time
number.
to promote.
This time next year.
27th.
October 27th.
Are we doing it?
You are expecting a single
Friday before Halloween.
for More Weight
I'm down.
I'm
I
down.
don't know.
on October 27th.
That's what I would like.
This is all happening so fast.
I think
That's what I would
we
like.
haven't even finished writing the record.
It's okay.
Yeah, but dude.
It's okay.
Are you down for that? 27th?
I don't know, I guess.
Yes.
Well, we've told
Friday-
the people now.
That's
They're going to be
over a
waiting
month.
for
We've
it.
delivered it.
Over a month.
We've delivered
Over a
it.
month from now.
Okay. They're going to be waiting for it.
So this episode comes out on the 26th.
Yes.
So you'll listen to this today. Tomorrow
It'll be out.
Downfall, our single Downfall comes out.
I don't want to just strong arm Zach.
No, we're doing
I'm
it.
scared.
All three of us
like
were like, yeah, no, he was just like, I mean,
Massimo's
I
our
can't.
I'm not
unofficial
even-
like tour.
Massimo's like, do it.
manager.
Do
He
it.
shows me all your stuff. He's like, what do we think about this mix? So can I get a credit on the thing for like?
I do every mix that I send you guys. I send to
He
him.
just said it.
Because
Okay, well, what do you? Okay, no spoilers.
Check your subs.
Every
You
send
can't
that you
spoil a
send to
song,
me,
but what do you think of
every mix
Downfall?
that you send to me, I
I
send
like
to
it.
Reese Young.
Is it a good song?
I do like it.
I think it's one of my favorites off the
He's
record.
really likes
well,
it.
from
in.
the
Sweet.
pictures of he sent me of the recording in that session, like
yeah,
with the gabagool, you know.
gabagool.
But it sounds really good.
and with all
It
the
sounds
spot
really good.
mics and stuff.
Yeah.
But
check it out.
all right, tomorrow. Downfall. Downfall will be out.
I feel like we should leave on this.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think all three of us should give him one album recommendation to get
Oh,
into metal.
done.
Great idea.
One
album?
Great
Down.
idea.
One album. One
Okay,
album.
Let's go this way. Jacob,
one
you want to
album.
start?
Okay.
If you don't say it, I'm gonna say it. I have one in my head, so I just
You
see
go.
what say.
You go.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know exactly know what it's called.
But you just Jacob,
wait,
go.
wait, no, I do. Never mind. White Pony by Deftones.
Deftones.
White
Okay.
Pony.
Is that
by
what you were going
Deftones.
to say?
You need
That
to write
wasn't
this-
what I was
you need
gonna
to write
say.
this down, 'cause I'm gonna
Here's the
forget.
thing: is because it's not like Diamond Eyes by Deftones is a little more like quote unquote heavy because it's just mixed heavier, but it's also a little more mature from them.
Yeah,
But then
I'm
you go and listen to the
immature,
first
yeah.
album. I forget what's the name of it. The one with
Their first album?
the
Adrenaline.
one. Yeah, Adrenaline. You can tell that they're like kids having fun. It's a good like. I don't know. It's a good middle ground album, and dude, it slaps so hard. Passenger with the guy from Tool. I forget his name. I can't believe.
Maynard James Keenan.
Yeah, dude, slaps. White Pony by Deftones.
White Pony by Deftones. Okay, Zach.
I feel like this is not a good recommendation, but it's what my heart tells me to do because
Go
this
for it.
is
Follow
a
it.
hard jump.
Follow it.
But
Follow
I think
it.
that you should listen to Iridescent by Silent Planet.
Oh my god.
That's their most recent album.
It's so good.
It's got a lot of really good melodic hooks.
Okay.
The choruses
I'm
are
here for that.
almost all singing. Some of their songs are heavier than others, so I feel like it's going to be kind of polarizing where you're going to be like,
Okay.
maybe you like one section and then you're like, I don't know about this screaming nonsense.
Well, no. I mean, over like the last year and a half, I've opened up my musical horizons.
Okay.
And you can attest to that. I listened to I haven't drifted harder though. I've drifted to like folk and funk and like other
like
stuff
975 and
Gotcha.
like
They're drumming though on
much
Silent.
wider scope.
Yes, I used to be a hardcore classic rock guy. Like,
Okay.
And now I'm like, I'm going to John Mayer next month.
I think you'll like the drumming because Alex Camarena from Silent Planet is an insane drummer who's just got great pocket and great groove. So that's one of my favorite things to listen to.
By
Iridescent. It's like I think it's their most recent album
By who?
by Silent Planet.
Silent Planet. Okay.
I'll send
Okay,
you.
yeah,
I'll
you
send
send me.
We'll
these.
just text
Okay.
you all of these.
Yes, please. All right, Jacob.
I feel like beginning of the podcast, I said Metallica's Black Album.
You did.
Are you
And I
taking it back?
still feel like that's a really good option.
That would probably be the first one I would listen to.
If I had to say something else, honestly, and I'm sure there'll be some eye rolls, The Diary of Jane by Breaking Benjamin.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
a good
that
one.
Dude, I didn't even think about that.
Oh no, that's not the name. That's not the name of the album. The album is called Phobia. I think.
That album.
Phobia.
That album. I think the album's called Phobia. That album, because to me, it's like you like hard rock. You know, you like classic rock. You like hard rock. It's that, but just in lower tunings, and every now and again he screams.
And he loves
that's a good
ballads.
though.
That is a good
do.
blend, or that's a good medium.
He loves
good
ballads
medium.
too.
Like
he loves ballads. and
Post
break-
grunge from like the early 2000s is the perfect medium to get into heavy music, I believe, because it's super radio friendly,
Yeah.
but also like the guitar tones are insane.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times he like will like end a turnaround by screaming, and it's just like, ooh, it's a little something.
Little
you know?
spice.
Little-
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
spice, yeah, making nice.
Okay, so that and the Black Album will be
By
like
Metallica.
a honorary mention.
What I
Yes.
want to give two.
No,
give it all.
no. One.
We're loading you up with songs.
Yeah,
We're gonna text you all of them. Make you sit down
All
and
right,
listen to it.
guys.
Here
all
are the
in one
15
go.
albums that you need to listen to.
Yeah, here's a
Number 9.
for your 10-hour flight, wherever you do that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. This
Thank
was
you
a
for
ton of
having us.
fun.
You guys want to
Yeah,
tag your
fun.
socials?
Yeah,
You want to tag
we
socials
get
and stuff?
every time we have a guest, we always say you can shout out whatever you want. This is your couple moments to say whatever to the world. What's your message?
You go first.
No, you go first.
Okay, obviously, follow us on Instagram. We are at More Weight Band. We have music coming out. We have some shows that we just announced a new show.
Yep.
November 6th at the East Room with There Go I, Sunflower Kink, and Patchwork. Very excited about that. All of the homies.
town.
It's just a bunch of homies just playing.
Yeah,
it's
it'll be
great.
fun.
We've played with all those bands except Patchwork, which I'm
Yeah,
really
we
excited
love
about.
them.
I'm really excited for Patchwork. My Instagram is at St. Jacob. Pray for us. I do touring stuff for Reese Young. We're making a record and stuff. So yeah, just check us out on this journey because it's kind of really just starting. You know, like we just kind of started as a band. We're just finishing the beginning processes of this record.
We're finishing the beginning process.
We're finishing the beginning. That's what I'm saying. We're finishing the beginning process. This is the end of the beginning, which is
Then you're
awesome.
gonna get to the middle process.
We get to
We're
the
gonna
middle
start the
part,
middle, and we're
dude.
gonna get halfway through the middle. And we're gonna end the
love being in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
It just takes sometimes a little bit.
We look at the screen showing the
Yeah, we're looking at
audio,
the
it blew up.
waveform. It's good stuff. All
I
right, you go.
can't wait to hear that.
Shout us out.
Okay, Zach,
sick.
your turn.
Shout out Skittles gummies. I had them for the first time last night. They were sour Skittles gummies, and
Son of a bitch.
they were pretty good, honestly. My roommate told me not to try the grape
That's
ones,
what
but
you
that's the
said.
first one I
That's so
tried.
good.
That's the first one I tried was
You
the
know what?
grape one, and it was great. He said it tastes like cough syrup.
I made fun of you, but actually, I 100% back you. I like this.
Wait,
Yeah.
I laugh at you. Gummies, Skittle gummies. I didn't
Yeah,
even know they
Skittles
made-
gummies,
I've
they're a
heard of
thing.
them. I
I came
haven't.
home at like 12:30 in the morning from work, and then all my roommates were hanging out and stuff, and they were like, I saw them just sitting on the table. He was like, try them, but not the purple one. And the purple one was great, you know? So,
Who was it?
But
Who was
that
the person
Carlos?
that said? Was
Sean.
it Carlo? It was.
Oh.
it was Sean.
Carlos probably would be like, dude, have the purple one first.
But yeah, I guess also
So funny.
I guess
my if you follow me on Instagram too, I do drums for OCW and More Weight, and it's
Shout out your
hey
hat.
underscore it's me Zach on Instagram.
Can we shout out your hat really quick?
Yeah, I got it at a Buffalo Exchange here in Nashville. We're
Nice,
actually
love
not in
that
Nashville
place.
right now, but
We're right there.
Frankly.
We're
Obviously.
in.
how do you do?
Tourists don't know. Hey, listen.
Tourists don't know the difference.
No.
I'll never say
Well,
this.
guys, thanks
I'll
so
never
much
say this to
for
his face.
listening. And
But Zach's actually a really good drummer, so you should go follow him on Instagram. Don't tell him that I said he's good.
It's really big. Yeah.
I'm in a band with very talented individuals.
This is not even getting picked up.
I'll fix it.
Okay.
Just
clip
gain it and add subtitles.
All right, thank you guys for watching and listening. This has been the first Halloween special. Maybe stay tuned for maybe a couple more.
For some other holiday
specials.
We'll see.
So don't go anywhere, all right?
Yes.
Look, we're actually coming back for every single one. They don't know yet.
Yeah.
We're just going to be touching base. It's like more weight is the weird cousin you only see in the holidays.
We're just going to come up from this side of the
They're like,
stage.
whoa, your hair is different. You're like, thanks, man.
Yeah, we're gonna film it on the roof next time.
Yeah. Hey, with a new AC unit.
Yeah. So,
All right, thanks, guys. Ciao.
peace.
Adios. Bye. Bye. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.